If you are the Aces, you're not in a good spot right now. There is not only one, but two investigations into your team. You are being sued. The WNBA are investigating you for basically illegal payments, and you are being sued by a former player. Not Khalil Ware, Derica Hamby. I don't know what the hell just came up on screen right there. And if you guys are on the side of Derica Hamby, subscribe. We're trying to hit 26.3 thousand subscribers by the end of the day, and we are exactly 6 off right now. But yeah, it's crazy what has happened. And as well as that, if you guys don't know, the WNBA Commissioner has responded. So she has gone and responded, which is something that I wouldn't have expected. And this is what she said, and this is on Good Morning America. Again, I don't know how much I can show of. It's probably better for me to play the sound instead of showing the full clip. So this is what she has said.
Landing from Paris just saw that the complaint was filed. We're reviewing it. Obviously, we'll have our lawyers take a look at it. But Derica is such a great player in this league. She just represented our country in 3x3.
Won the bronze medal.
Yes, and won the bronze. So Derica's a great. She has 2 children, a great mom. Yeah. Spent a lot of time with her over the last couple of years. So we'll obviously review this.
And what is the WNBA doing to ensure that these families, that these women and these families have all that they need?
Yeah, I think in the last collective bargaining agreement, we opened up a lot of progressive benefits for moms, full maternity leave, rooms for children on the road and in market. So there are a lot of things, because a lot of our players don't necessarily live in the market in which they play.
True.
So there's a lot of additional benefits. Also, just across the board benefits for women athletes for the first time, whether it's fertility benefits and.
So yeah, she also talks about how in the next CBA they want more benefits for the players, especially when it comes to things like pregnancy, maternity leave, and that's where it sounds like she is trying to make sure that the WNBA this is not a PR disaster for the league. That if this is a PR disaster, that's a PR disaster for the Aces, because she clearly said that their lawyers are going to look into it. So it's not just going to be a case of the WNBA her making any sort of brash statement. She said her lawyers are going to look into it, and then simultaneously talked about how Derica Hamby is a person, how much you like Derica Hamby. And that's the best thing you can do in that scenario, is you can go out there and you can basically talk about how good a person you think Hamby is, how good a mom she is, or and also talking about how your league has such great measures in place for maternity, for pregnancy, because that's the worst thing that can happen here, is for this to be, I think with the other lawsuit, with this lawsuit here, with the Aces paying players under the table, it's not a bad look on the WNBA, because, well, not Aces paying, sorting out deals to effectively pay players under the table, because I think the morality of this is very different, because this isn't a bad look on the WNBA, because people are going to be talking about how the players don't need to play enough, or they don't get paid enough, and then saying that, oh, they're just trying to get the players paid what they're worth. If someone's willing to pay the players this, that means that's what the players are worth. And from that perspective, obviously, as the commissioner of the WNBA, you need to make sure the rules are being adhered to. You need to make sure everything is above board because of the CBA. The legality of that and the morality are two different things, because the legality of what the Aces have done is questionable. The morality, I don't think anyone has a moral issue with what happened to the Aces. But what is happening in the Derica Hamby situation is both a issue legality-wise, based on their CBA, potentially, and also potentially a complete moral issue. If this turns out to be true, then everything about the league being this progressive league, being pro-women, all comes into disrepute. Like, this is something that will affect the entirety of the league. And Kathy Engelbert has to be careful what she's saying. She has to be very careful. She has to make sure that she's not necessarily saying anything wrong legally, but she also has to, no matter what, say that she's supporting the player. The only way that this scenario doesn't turn out to be an absolute disaster for the Aces is if it turns out that Derica Hamby is like completely lying. If she's lying, that's the only way that it's not a complete disaster PR wise for the WNBA, if they do nothing about this. And I think as far as Kathy Engelbert is concerned, the most important thing is making sure the league looks as good as possible, especially when it is a league that calls itself an activist league, that prides itself on activism, that prides itself on being pro-women. Seeing something that might actually be illegal. Like, not even just illegal in the CBA, just illegal, period. Because at the end of the day, this is a workplace. I know the teams are a little bit different, but for example, if Becky Hammon hypothetically got pregnant when she was a coach of the Spurs and had to miss some time and the Spurs fired her, the Spurs would be in a lot of legal trouble. It's the same difference when it comes to players as it comes to coaches. So there are protections put in. So it's a really bad look. It's a bad situation for the WNBA. The fact the WNBA took it seriously enough that they have already punished the Aces, and now it's gotten to the stage where the player is suing the Aces, and especially now it's coming more to light because there are more viewers than ever. It is just a bad look. And I do think that, like, the fact that the WNBA knew what was going on, the fact Kathy Engelbert has basically talked about how much she likes the player, talked positively about Hamby, when she basically has, like, well, not that she could say otherwise, but when they've already done their own kind of WNBA investigation onto it, and what they came out with the conclusion was that Becky Hammon needs to be banned for 2 games and we need to take a first-round pick off you. Or is it multiple first-round picks off you? And Becky Hammon needs to be suspended. So it's highly, highly unlikely that Derica Hamby is lying. But the WNBA, I don't know why she's suing the WNBA. Maybe that the WNBA allowed the Aces to do it and the punishment wasn't more severe. I get why Hamby's suing the Aces. I don't know what the WNBA did wrong. They already punished the Aces for it. But either way, it is a pretty good response. And look, I actually think Kathy Engelbert's a good commissioner. If you look at some of the stuff she did before the WNBA and the position the WNBA was in before she came and after, I think her one big flaw was how she didn't realize that the Caitlin Clark effect was going to happen. Like, you can tell by her interview, she's genuinely, everyone, all the, like, chief marketing officers, the Commissioner of the League, they didn't realize how big of a draw Caitlin Clark was. They didn't realize. And that's their one major flaw. But all in all, I think the more you look into things, the more it does seem like Kathy Engelbert's actually a pretty damn good commissioner. Better than Adam Silver anyway. Not David Stern level. David Stern's the greatest commissioner in the history of pro sports. Like, the decisions that he made were complete genius, whereas Adam Silver is doing whatever the hell he can to make quick money and tear down the damn actual product. He's doing whatever he can to make sure that they make as much money as possible as quickly as possible while harming the product. But no, I think Kathy Engelbert's a pretty good commissioner. Either way, that's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.